Hello everyone, I'm John Lucas with the Okapi Conservation Project based in the Democratic Republic of the Congo. It's a pleasure to speak to you today, especially following Jane Goodall's excellent presentations on the threats to our planet brought on by climate change. It is pertinent to talk about the Okapi because the Okapi lives in the dense rainforests of Central Africa. The Okapi was the last large mammal discovered in Africa because of its secret and large habitat, which is pretty impenetrable to people, except for the Mbuti pygmies who share the habitat with them. We have been working in the Congo for 34 years, addressing the needs of the people and supporting the ICCN rangers who protect the Okapi Wildlife Reserve from illegal activities. It's especially important to talk about Okapi today because the forests of the Congo are very unique. The Okapi depends on over 100 different species of leaves produced by a very diverse forest. Without an intact forest, the Okapi cannot survive, but most importantly, these trees in the Congo store tons and tons of carbon. The forests of DRC are thought to contain over 23 gigatons of carbon. And this is because these trees are immense and they grow fast, and there's such a rapid turnover of nutrients in the soil. Working with the people and the rangers, we try to impress upon the people how important the forests are to them as well as to Okapi. We build upon their natural heritage of symbolizing the Okapi as their unique national animal. It represents all the biodiversity of the Congo and is very special to these people. Our team of very brave and dedicated conservationists in Congo travel around some of the most difficult and dangerous roads in the world to reach these remote communities, trying to instill a conservation ethic in them and to support conservation of the forest for future generations. The forests of the Congo are especially unique. During a recent study, it was found that the forests of Central Africa are more resilient to changes than other forests. During the last El Nino in 2015, 2016, the trees in the Congo continued to grow, and there was no really decrease in the storage of carbon. Over 1 billion tons were thought to be stored during that period. Meanwhile, in Amazonia and in Southeast Asia, there was a real great decrease in the amount of storage, even a reversal of carbon being released in the atmosphere during the exact same conditions. So the resilient forests of the Congo are very important in our fight against climate change, being able to scrub the atmosphere of these carbon dioxide to help us maintain a suitable environment for all life to live without drastic changes to the environment. We have been working to conserve Okapi for many years, but we have found that the greatest way we can do this is engage the people. When the threats of mining, logging, slash and burn agriculture are brought under control, the people will still be there. They will still depend on the forest resources for their living and to support their families. So we work with them to teach them technologies and techniques that save the forest, but also produce food for them and other resources so they can have a better quality of life. Our team in Congo works very hard, and I want to gladly share our time today with two of our top conservationists, Bears and Manga, that work for our project, and they will be talking about the effects of climate change on the ground in the forests of DRC. It's a very important topic and has been discussed for the last 10 years, as a matter of fact, by the communities. They're very concerned about this because their livelihood depends on rainfall starting and ending as it has for thousands of years, and for the rainfall to be in dry seasons to be in the timing that supports their agriculture. So please, I welcome my compatriots and my friends from DRC to tell us about what they have seen on the ground. Where's Manga? Thank you.
Salut à tout le monde et merci au président John Lucas pour m'avoir accordé la parole. Je suis Berce Sonfoissa. les responsables de tous les programmes organisés au sein du projet Wildlife Conservation Global, le projet de conservation de l'Okapi. Et donc, en ce moment, je voudrais échanger avec vous sur un sujet intitulé l'impact du changement climatique au sein des communautés locales dans notre région. Et donc, ce que je peux vous dire, c'est que les projets implémentés dans la région depuis plus de 30 ans, et il y a un certain nombre de changements que nous avons observés au fil des temps. Et ce qui a poussé nous, les acteurs de terrain, de pouvoir réfléchir davantage quel est l'impact de ces changements climatiques au sein des communautés locales. Et ces communautés locales là-bas, il y a une catégorie des communautés qu'on appelle les pygmées, vous savez, qui sont pratiquement les premiers conservateurs des forêts. Et dans cette conservation des forêts, ils ont plusieurs activités organisées dans cette forêt là-bas, n'est-ce pas? Il y a notamment la chasse traditionnelle, la cueillette, le ramassage. Il y a des rites traditionnels organisés dans cette forêt. Et vous savez, il y a également dans les ramassages, il y a les récoltes des miels pendant une certaine période. Et donc, nous avons pu observer que certaines plantes, certaines essences végétales ont cessé de produire suffisamment de fleurs qui sont utilisées par les abeilles pour la fabrication du miel. Et à l'époque, nous constations qu'à cette période là-bas, des récoltes de miel, les pygmées avaient bonne santé, avaient bonne mine. Et donc, même au niveau de leur peau, vous pouvez sentir que la peau était clean et soft. Mais depuis un certain moment, suite à la réduction de cette production des miels suffisamment sur le marché local, les pygmées n'ont plus bonne santé et ils sont beaucoup plus malades. Et ce que nous faisons en tant qu'un projet de proximité aux pygmées, nous les accompagnons dans la prise en charge des soins médicaux, mais aussi à l'octroi des rations pour les plus faibles. Et à l'époque, ce qu'il faut que je vous dise, c'est qu'à une certaine période de l'année, nous observions une abondance de certaines espèces animales, notamment les papillons, les oiseaux migrateurs qui venaient dans la région. Mais depuis un certain moment, tous ces phénomènes ne sont plus observés. Il y a une deuxième catégorie touchée par ces changements climatiques au sein des communautés locales, ce sont les agriculteurs. Nous avons constaté que le calendrier agricole est terriblement perturbé, soit au mouvement des saisons des pluies qui ne sont plus respectées, qui ne sont plus réglo, comme c'était le cas au fil du temps. Ce qui fait qu'il y a une forte réduction des productions des denrées alimentaires sur le marché local. Alors ce que nous faisons, tout en accompagnant les agriculteurs au maintien des espaces utilisés pour ne pas avoir une pression sur les forêts primaires, pour éviter la déforestation, nous les accompagnons dans les pratiques agricoles, les pratiques culturelles, c'est évidemment ce que je voulais dire, mais aussi dans l'octroi des semences et l'octroi des outils aratoires pour essayer tant soit peu de subvenir à leurs besoins. En tout cas, ces derniers temps, il est très difficile d'avoir la même production agricole comme cela était le cas dans les années passées. Suite aux perturbations de pluie, nous ne maîtrisons plus les saisons pluvieuses et les saisons sèches, donc ce qui impacte directement sur les calendriers agricoles. Donc nous sommes là aux côtés de ces deux catégories des communautés pour essayer de subvenir, soit de les accompagner dans ces processus du changement climatique. Voici un peu de mots ce que j'avais à vous dire. J'ai dit et je vous remercie. Je voudrais passer la parole à Jean-Paul Monga pour vous parler d'autres faits qui touchent évidemment les femmes et d'autres catégories des communautés locales. Je vous remercie.
My name is Jean-Paul Monga Kieti. I am Okapi Conservation Project Conservation Education Program Coordinator. I'm going to talk about the impact of climate change on women and how Okapi Conservation Project assists the women to adapt to climate change? Well, the recent result of a survey conducted between 2019 and 2021 within the Congo Basin, including the eastern part of the Democratic Republic of Congo, where the Okapi Wildlife Reserve is located. The survey was conducted by the Kinshasa University, and its result revealed that women play key social roles in providing their families with food and care. The result also revealed that there are effects of climate change that are observed on livelihood activities of women and vulnerable groups depending on agriculture and the use of natural resources, such as gathering and collection of firewood, construction woods, mushrooms, and other edible foods, birds, bushmeat, caterpillars, and drinking water. Particularly inside and around Okapi Wildlife Reserve, effects of climate change that are observed on livelihood activities of women include decline in water resources, decline in honey collections compared to several 10 years ago. We also have a decline in caterpillars and other edible fruits collection compared to several 10 years ago. So, Okapi Conservation Project assists the women to adapt to the climate change by providing them with different assistance, including the construction of more water sources within villages in order to make sure that women reduce time and distance to get drinking water. Another assistance that Okapi Conservation Project provides to women is assisting around 260 women with sewing, embroidery, knitting materials, as well as training as a way to empower women so that they can have their own business and have an alternative source of income beside agriculture. Another assistance that Okapi Conservation Project provide to women is making sure that women have a comfortable place for their meeting and for their trainings. And this is by building them houses inside and around Okapi Wildlife Reserve. Another way Okapi Conservation Project assists the women is by involving them in sensitizing their community members and their family members on the protection of the forest and the sustainable use of natural resources. So this is briefly how Okapi Conservation Project assists women inside and around Okapi Wildlife Reserve to adapt to climate change. Now I'm going to pass over the presentation to John again, who is going to conclude with Okapi Conservation Project presentation. Thank you.
Thank you, Barasamanga, for that excellent summary of the issues we are facing in DRC and what, as a project committed to the conservation of Okapi, we are doing to help the people during this period of adaptation to change. The conservation of Okapi needs a holistic approach, from strenuous protection to ardent support for the communities to get them to buy in to the reasons why we need to conserve forests, not only for Okapi, but for their own benefit and for future generations. We have committed our resources, and we alone and the people of DRC alone cannot make these changes and adapt on their own. They need the world to come together as one to address this problem globally, to reduce our carbon and methane outputs, to find ways to help sequester carbon in unique and scientific ways. But as all the evidence has shown, the best way to sequester carbon is to maintain and protect our existing mature forests, who have the ability to store tons and tons of carbon. The opposite is true. If forests are destroyed, they release tons of carbon. So it is in the best interest of humanity to work together to protect these forests and the forests of the home of the Okapi. Again, I want to thank all our friends and donors at WCN, all our staff in the Congo for their great work and their dedication. And I hope that you'll be able to look at our website and look at some of the other things we are doing and be encouraged to support the protection of Okapi, but also the protection of one of the two lungs of our planet so we all can have a prosperous future. Thank you and enjoy the rest of the Expo.